Hello, welcome to A Place in the Sun Revisited. We've got another one of our Zoom chats with some of our property hunters. My name's Liz Rowlinson, international property journalist, but I'm here today with Steve and Helen. Good day.
Hello.
Yeah.
Now,
Hello.
Steve and Helen, you're from North Wales, and you went out for our TV episode filming in November, December 2020 in the throes of the pandemic. So interesting timing. But we're going to have a chat about how that was and then what happened next. So just tell us a bit about your background first. I know that you're an award-winning sausage maker, or you were, Steve.
Yeah. That was a butcher. That was my business. Entered loads of competitions, sausages, pies. Very successful at it. And then obviously come to the age of 64. Time to retire.
Right.
The lease was up on my shop. I could have taken another lease, but time to retire.
And when was that?
2 years ago.
Right. And how about you, Helen?
Well, I worked in the hospitality sector, working in the hotels, and then I worked in a factory, a chicken factory, a local factory in the area. And then my mum and dad, they bought, before that, my mum and dad bought a local pub in Steve's village, and that's where I met Steve.
Uh-huh.
So I finished in the factory 11 years ago, and then I just worked in the family business doing the pies and the ready meals.
Uh-huh.
And the cleaning up.
Yeah.
Right. So you've had many happy holidays in Spain, is that right? Because you've got some family in the area that you began to focus on, is that right?
Yeah, we've been to Spain a few times. As it happens, we've never been to my brother's place.
Now, your brother is, tell us about where he's got a place.
He's in Benamagosa. My both brothers lived in Benamagosa, but obviously, unfortunately, one passed away a couple of years ago, and one's still there now, Paul. But we'd never ever been to his place. But they used to tell us I've been down that area before myself, playing golf. And we've had a couple of weekends down there.
We've been to Alicante, haven't we?
We've been up to Alicante.
Where is Benalmádózar? I'm not familiar with that area.
Benalmádózar is obviously Torrox is quite near Nerja.
Yes, in the south. Yeah.
So go down south towards Malaga, and I think it's about 15, 20 kilometers from Torrox inland.
Land, okay, got you.
Yeah, you go. I think is there Vélez Malaga or Malaga Vélez
Yes.
Malaga, just a little bit further on, and it's in inland from there. A little village there.
So you never visited them, you said?
Never visited them because we've always had the understanding that we've loved travelling. We've travelled the world, travelled to lovely places. And what we thought was when we retired, it's time to maybe do the European, Spain, Portugal.
The grand tour, yeah.
Which is short haul. So, yes.
Because we'd just come back, hadn't we, from going around the world in March 12 months ago.
Before the lockdown, yeah.
Before the lockdown, we just arrived back just before the lockdown.
We've been away 6 months, haven't we?
Been away for
wow, okay. So when did you begin to think about buying a place in Spain? Well,
Helen's always watched your programme. And she used to go, "Oh, have you seen this, Steve? Have you seen this? Have you seen this?" Yeah. And I just used to take no notice. Helen would look.
And we'd see places, 50,000, 70,000. And I said to Steve, you know what? We should just buy a little place we can go to in the winter months here and come back here in the summer. So that was our idea, really. We'd go somewhere, say September, and come back in March. for like a budget of, we saw like nice homes for 50,000-60,000.
So we worked out what we had. We said 90 to 100,000.
Yeah.
So we decided, well, Helen's been looking at it for years, really.
Yeah.
Helen's from New Zealand. Helen's from New Zealand. She's always been a traveller.
Right. Okay.
So she can't put her feet down for long. She has to get going.
Right. Okay. Well, so you how did you decide to go to how did the TV I mean you watched the TV show, did you think, oh, let's see if we can get on there? Did you write to them? Did you go to one of our exhibitions?
Well, we were watching the programme one afternoon. It was raining, and I said to Steve, you know what, I'm going to go on this, I'm going to go on the website and I'm going to fill the form in, didn't I? And he said, he just laughed and said, there's no chance, you'll never get on that. And then we were just sitting one afternoon in November and the phone went, and I think it was Kane, from Place in the Sun.
Freeform, was it?
Yeah, from Freeform. Yeah. And he said, I'm from the Place in the Sun, do you fancy going? So Steve said, well, yes. And he said, well, you said, didn't you?
He gave us 3 dates.
Yeah, he said to Steve, when? Next year? No, he said next week, didn't he? So, like, it was just done so quickly. I never ever thought, we haven't got any friends that have been on it and don't know anyone that's been on it, have we?
No.
So,
brilliant. So you went out in November, just before the lockdown in the UK. And you went on with a budget of £90,000.
Yeah.
And we're going to play a little clip now of the introduction. You're with Scarlette, I believe.
So here we are in Eastern Costa del Sol. Steve, Helen, excited to be here?
Yes, thank you.
Yes, thank you. So what is it then that brought you here?
The climate for the start.
Yeah.
We've just retired and decided let's get somewhere a bit closer to home where we can just jump on an aeroplane and get here to the sun. I've got knee problems. I've had one new knee. You know, arthritis setting in a little bit, so this weather should do us a world of good.
Get the sunshine in the bones, the vitamin D.
That's right.
We all need it. So have you thought about any particular areas that you'd like to look in?
We've looked at Torrox. My 2 brothers lived here.
Okay.
Paul still lives here. He came here for his health, and he's raved about it for the last 20 years.
So now actually being here in person, does it live up to expectations?
Oh, yes.
Yes, it does, yes.
Just look at this.
No.
It's quite surprised me.
Really?
Yes.
So there we go. So you were looking around the Torrox area. Now, what made you? What do you like about? Or what did you think you liked about the area?
Well, this is where we didn't know anything. We'd never heard of Torrox. It was the company that took us to Torrox. Right. They said, we'll take you up to Torrox.
Right.
You know, so, but when we got there, we
liked it.
We liked it. The area was lovely.
And we liked the...
But we'd never heard of Torrox before.
So what did you specify, that you just wanted sort of that area of around Nerja
fly into Malaga and anywhere along that coast, really.
Right, so it was quite broad.
Yes.
Yeah. And for that budget, they probably looked and thought, because I mean, for the Costa del Sol, £90,000 is not a huge amount. You might have looked at stuff on the Costa Blanca, which is generally more affordable. So I guess they looked at what they could get for that budget and came up with the properties and the area.
In that area, yeah. You can go further down the coast south, and you can get cheaper.
Right.
But it was just that area, and you've looked since.
Yeah.
And there's still nice places for under 90,000.
Sure. So what did you learn? So how was the filming, and what did you take from it that was useful to hone down your search?
We learned that we don't need to be frightened if we want to go and buy a place, because we know we can go to the estate agents. They're just like the estate agents in this country, aren't they? And we didn't, I just didn't know what to expect.
No, it was good experience, very good experience with the team. The team were brilliant. Yeah, very, very good how they did it, and reassured us a lot. Where,
What about being on the whole business of being filmed and being on TV? How did you find that?
Oh, I love having my photograph taken. I do.
And I don't really.
I've been with the Butchers, with winning the awards. I've done quite a little bit of.
You're used to the publicity.
Yes, yeah. I've been to awards down in London, been on stage with quite famous people.
Wow! Anyone interested? Who was the best?
Linford Christie.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Yeah, was one of them.
You met Prince Charles?
I've met Prince Charles.
Wow.
Yeah.
Has he had your sausages?
I gave him some sausages because the one thing he said to me was, "I hear you're the making of these weird and wonderful sausages." It was at a farmer's market when he was going on a college where we held a farmer's market, and he was opening the college, and that's what he said to me. So I said, "Oh well, we made him a hamper up." I said, "There's some sausages in there for you." And his lady in waiting, the lady who was with him, turned around and says, "Unfortunately, he won't be able to try them, but I will."
Oh, right. Okay.
Because I think he has to watch what he eats, doesn't he? Who gives him what and what by royal appointment.
Oh, wow. Interesting. So, but we digress slightly. So, so you saw some, was there, of the properties you saw, that none of them were quite right, were they?
Well, you can say this, Helen.
No, they weren't. There was always something, maybe just only one thing that wasn't quite right. The first property was really nice, and it was in Torrox, Costa, which was down by the beach. And it was really nice, that property, but it had an underground car park, and I don't know if it was for the supermarket or not, because the supermarket was.
Yes, it was right next to the noise. Yes.
Yes.
So the entrance to the car park was right by your balcony, because it was a downstairs apartment.
And it was nice.
Which was okay, which would have done us in the right position as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, and because my idea was, I got up in the morning and I could have a nice cup of coffee on the balcony. There, you couldn't. You would have been watching the people in the cars coming back and forward. So
now I could see that. I could understand your view on that one. Well, we're going to have a little play of property 2 now.
The second floor apartment has access to the communal pool and gardens, great views into the mountains from the entrance at the front, and a large private balcony at the back with stunning sea views. Inside, there's a large, light and airy open plan living, dining and kitchen area, one very green bedroom, and a shower room. What do you think of this?
lovely.
Yeah, good. Lovely. Yeah, nice.
Spacious?
Yeah,
Yes,
good too.
light, nice windows.
It's funny, really, considering you said that he knocked the wall down.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been very
So
big,
it
would
went across there, that wall.
Yeah, I'd say
so
so.
that would have
Yes,
been in the
yeah.
bedroom, yeah.
Ah, yes.
If you wanted to put the wall back, it's about £1,200 to do
Yes,
that.
well, yeah.
But obviously you wanted to have that living space with the separate dining space.
The decor's nice, it doesn't need anything doing to it, and that's what we want.
Well, obviously, if you are going to be coming in the winter, the great thing is that you have got a heater here already.
Yeah.
And for those that are coming in the summer, you've got aircon as well.
Yes.
That's
That's
good,
good,
isn't
yeah.
it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Have a look at this. What do you think?
Wow. Lovely.
Oh, that, wow.
Right? That's what I wanted to hear. And of course, look, you've got a huge balcony
Yeah.
here. Space for maybe 3 tables if you wanted
Of
out
course,
here.
yeah.
Loads of seats around. No road down to the car park.
No.
Oh,
Just views, agricultural land, and some chickens.
yeah. No, it's great. It's lovely.
Just what the doctor ordered, this,
what
isn't
have,
it?
what have you done to us?
Oh, I like the sound of that, Steve. Liking it then?
Yes.
Yeah.
So this one wasn't quite right either. What did you think of that one?
Well, property 2 was lovely.
We like that one.
We like that one. It was a 1-bedroom, but they made the second bedroom into a lounge, so it was quite big. The views were beautiful.
Mm.
Up quite a lot of steps, wasn't it?
Yes, there was a lot of steps to it.
Quite a lot of steps, and it was at the top of a very, very steep hill in Torrox Park.
And
but it was a nice place.
That was a nice place. The views were beautiful, and the property itself, it was really nice and clean. We could have just had it and
moved straight in.
We wouldn't have had, but the thing is, we like to go and in the evening and go and have a walk and a couple of drinks at the different bars and something to eat. You couldn't really do that there, could you?
It was at the top of the hill.
It was like a development, wasn't it? An urbanisation of,
And all there was one bar, one restaurant, one little supermarket. I think it was one of them places you needed to have a car there all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, which...
It did have a bus service.
It had a bus service, but you had to walk about 10 minutes, quarter of an hour to the bus stop. But it was a very steep hill on the top of a hill. That's why you get the views, obviously, isn't it?
Yes, it's about learning about the potential compromises, isn't it? That you've taken from this, that you've got to think about the immediate surroundings and noise, and then the sort of the accessibility of, do you want to have to drive?
That's it. Yes. But that was quite a nice place, but it wasn't in the right place.
Right. Okay. Right. Well, we're going to have a look at property 5 now.
Helen, Steve, here is my 5th and final property.
First impression, it's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks in good condition from the outside anyway.
Location-wise, we are 5 minutes to bars and restaurants, and that's walking. We're 5 minutes to a supermarket, 5 minutes to the bus stop, a 20-minute stroll down to the beach. You've got everything that you could possibly want right by this property.
Good location, I think.
I think that this is a great option for both of you. We've got the 2 bedrooms, modern, nothing to do in here. The property itself is priced at just over £98,000, so we're well within that wiggle room. The agent has actually indicated that you can get this for around £94,000.
Yeah,
okay.
Sounds like
exciting.
Yeah.
Are we happy?
I think so.
Are we geared up?
Yes. Come on.
Okay, let's get inside. This first floor apartment has a balcony with views over the town to the sea, an open plan kitchen and living area, a spacious main bedroom with fitted wardrobes, a second bedroom currently used as a storeroom, and a modern bathroom.
Now, which was it, this one, or was it number 2 that came closest for you to reaching what you were after?
Number 5, the last one, Helen.
Number 5, yes. The 2 bedrooms in Torrox Park, that was as well.
In the same area as the second one, Torrox Park. It had 2 bedrooms, not 2 nice big bedrooms, didn't it?
Yes.
Wasn't as nice inside as
Property
2, but it was a lot lower down the hill.
Mm-hmm.
It was
It
was halfway down the hill, not at the top of the hill. And I think that was what swayed us from property 2 to property 5. A little bit of work needed on that, wasn't it? But not a lot.
It was
and that was a cheaper one as well, wasn't it? Yeah, it was a little bit cheaper than the one on the top, which you could understand, because we would have spent that little bit more money decorating it, because it needed a decoration.
Yeah.
A young lad had stayed in it and he decorated it himself. They were like black grey walls.
Yes, a bit wacky.
Yes, that's right. But that was okay.
So what has it made you think? Do you really need a 2 bedroom, or are you going for a 1 bedroom? How did you end that property search and think about what you want going forward?
Well, I don't really mind a property 2, the 1 bedrooms. I quite like that, because I have watched some of the programmes just recently, some of the repeats, and they've got places that are 1 bedroom and they've put like a louvered door across, which looks really nice. So it is a lounge in the day, but in the evening they can put. So really,
have a sofa bed.
Yes, a sofa bed
with a louvered door.
Yeah. So 1 bedroom. Yeah, I was swaying to 1 bedroom, wasn't I?
Are you likely? Do you see yourself having a regular guests or guests?
No,
Yeah,
well, not we don't want to rent it out. But obviously, in the summer, if any of our friends wanted to go there,
Yeah.
they could go and use it. Yes. Plus, if they wanted to come over and see us, they could do that as well, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Sure.
We would do that. We've got a lot of friends
Yeah.
who would come over and see us. So that second bedroom or put me up bed would work.
Right, got you.
One bedroom, yeah, well, yeah. So yeah.
And I mean, Scarlett said, I mean, oh God, this is a really tricky hunt for the budget. And have you decided that? You mentioned, Helen, that you've seen some properties that are a bit cheaper at other bits of coast. What is your plan to go inland, to go further up the coast? Have you accepted that you're changing the area a bit?
I think so, yes. I think that I don't really want to go up a mountain.
Yeah.
I'd rather be down by the beach, because I also want to go there on my own. So I think it would be much nicer just to be able to come out in the morning and have a walk along. You know, a lot of these places have the long walks, don't they? And I think you can do that on your own. You know, you can do it on your own. I think we need to be by the beach, don't we?
Yeah, because they showed us in the on the show. They showed us 4 places with swimming pools. Yeah. Now, when we said what we wanted, we weren't really fussed about a swimming pool.
Okay.
Because we know the swimming pools from September to March close.
Do all of them?
In that part, yeah, most of them in that part, they're all September, October. They close for the winter. That's why when we went there was none of the swimming pools open. They were either half empty, or needed cleaning, or needed redoing. So a swimming pool really didn't.
So that's something you've learned about what you want. You're not bothered about. Yeah.
Warriors, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Down in Torrox, Costa, there was people sitting on the beach, but they couldn't go. You couldn't go to a swimming pool and swim in a pool because they were closed.
Yeah, but they weren't swimming in the sea.
No, they weren't swimming, but they were sitting out, weren't they?
20 degrees.
Yeah.
Well, that's all you want.
Yeah, I mean, you went out I mean, lots of people love to spend the British winters in southern Spain, but I mean, and obviously there was a pandemic going on, so it wasn't typical. But I mean, how do you envisage going out in the winters when you get your place?
Yeah, well, that's what we.
Yeah.
You know, as soon as September come, we go out. We do realise. I think it's 90 days before you can come back. You know, you can come back, but you have to within 90 days. And then you just have a couple of weeks here, make sure your place is all right, and back out there again for another couple of months. And then as soon as April comes, back in this country.
Yeah, I was going to say you preempted my question on sort of how does the Brexit changes that happened since your trip affect your plans. I mean, you're right. It's you're going to be restricted to 90 days, coming back for a certain amount before you can go out again. But that's okay with you.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, we'd read up on that. Read up on rules and regulations. We've seen what the rules and regulations were like over there when we were there as well, and during the lockdown. You know, they were very, very, very keen. You know, if you didn't wear your mask, there was a €300 fine.
Yeah.
You know.
So what's your plan going forward? When, I mean, you can't travel much at the moment, obviously, but what's your strategy?
We've got still 2 tickets.
We've got two vouchers, which we got for Malaga, but we had to cancel that because we were going out in September to have a look, and obviously we had to cancel that. So we've still got 2 vouchers with EasyJet.
With
EasyJet, to go back out there when we're ready.
Yeah.
So.
And when do you think, at this rate, it's very hard to call that, but I imagine you might be vaccinated shortly, or if you haven't been already, and then maybe you could get out in June or July. Is that reasonable?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I've had one vaccination.
And I haven't had one.
Because she's younger.
Yeah.
But no, that's what we plan to do. Go out in as soon as it's opened up. We hadn't told my brother that we were looking for a place, you know, and in fact, his friend seen us being televised while they were over there, because he said, "Did you say your brother's here getting, for the place in the sun?" He said, "I've just seen him." He said in front of the cameras. But what Paul just said, when you're ready, as soon as you can get the flights out, come out, stay at his place, and we'll go round and have a look.
I was going to say, aren't you tempted now to go and have a look where he is and see if you like that bit, you know?
Well, he said that because he's out there for his health, because he had a nasty motorbike accident, but he's still got his motorbikes. And he's up and down that coast near enough every other day. He's just, his girlfriend is an English lady who teaches Spanish and English over there. Yeah, he just said, "Come over, I'll take you up and down, we'll have a look at a few places," and so that's the plan.
And Helen, have you spotted any other places, if you're thinking about the coast? I mean, have you got your eye on anything else that you've been looking at during these kind of weeks of lockdown?
There is quite a few places coming up, isn't there, along that coast? Yes. And I think they've been, people are just...
It's repossessed.
Yeah, they're being repossessed by the looks of it.
The banks have taken it, other banks are saying.
So, we thought maybe we've got to up our budget to maybe 120,000, 130, but the properties look as though they're coming down a little bit. So I don't know, but yeah, I think we'll just...
Because it was a little bit, I don't suppose you put this on the TV really. Obviously with us retiring, our money's in our pension, stocks and shares, whatever. When the pandemic come, we lost a little bit of money. So that's
on
why
the exchange rate,
we couldn't up our budget from the 90 to 100,000 then when they asked us to. But in the meantime, it's come back.
Yeah.
So the money what we got put on one side for a place, it's there now.
Yeah. So, and I know they said to us, "Can you stretch a little bit?" And we said yes to 100. But we wonder now, if they'd taken us to a place that was over budget, which they do take people to places on other programs, maybe that might have swayed us, and we might have thought, well,
you can find that extra bit. Yes. Yeah. I think if you really like somewhere, you might have felt more eager to do that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, yes. But they didn't take us to anything like that. See, they didn't take us to anything really. It was all around about the 100,000, where they said you could get it for more than likely 90,000. So it was a shame.
I think it's been a brilliant a learning process for you, hasn't it? So, and it's, as you say, Helen, it's given you the confidence to go it alone.
Yes.
And go out when you can and have a look. Is there anything you've have you talked to have you tried to put anything in place before you go? Have you talked to any agents? Have you thought about finding a lawyer, things like that?
No, not really, because we don't know what's going to happen. We've got to really wait for the flights to start up again. Because I say to Steve, I like this place. He said, no, we have to wait till we're allowed to go.
It's all up again.
Because
it's not worth doing it until then.
I think we need to I think by September we'll be okay, we'll be fine.
Right.
We'll be able to go, won't we?
Yes,
and have a look.
And I think one of the, I think it was the producer, he turned around and he did say, Steve, he said, just keep your eye on the places. Because we were quite a little bit upset that we didn't really get to see what we wanted, and he said, just keep your eye on it, he said, because he says, come the end of next summer, when all this is dying down, there'll be a lot of places coming up for sale at some good prices, you know. And he was a Spanish lad. What was his name? Daniel. You know, and he seemed to know what he was doing. He says, so he said, don't get despondent or don't forget about it. Just keep an eye on the places. He said, and there will be something there for you at your price. You know, he said, even if you just offer it. Because I said, more than likely by next year, like I said, our money will come back, and it has done. So, you know, we could afford a bit more now.
Yeah, and have you thought about using a currency broker?
No.
Well, you should look into that, because you know, it can protect you against dips and the exchange rate going up and down. And it's not like there's no reason not to use one. It's not like the same with a lawyer. I hope you're going to use a lawyer, especially if you're going to buy a repossession, because you've got to be careful there.
Yes, yeah, that's right. And would you suggest a lawyer over there, or our lawyer here, or the specialist lawyer over there?
Well, you get British lawyers in Spain, who that you know, there's very good ones that are on our placeinthesun.com, and they can obviously know what the requirements of British buyers are better than some of the local ones, and they can. But they're very used to dealing with they know their local areas. So in some ways, I would always suggest using a lawyer that's based in the area where you're looking. They need to know the local ins and outs.
Yeah. That's good to know then. Yeah, great. Yeah.
So, well, I mean, any advice that you've picked up that you want to sort of offer any property hunters out there on the back of your experience?
Yeah.
I just think if someone's going to do it, they need to say, we want 2 bedrooms, we want this, we want that, we want the other. Because when you do go and start looking, your mind starts changing, and you think, well, you know, I don't want that now. I want this. And then Place in the Sun, it's hard, isn't it, for you to find somewhere then.
That's right. And I think they need to realise where they want to be.
Yes, I think as with when you get to the point where you're speaking to an estate agent, the exact brief, the closer you can be about exactly what you want, the easier it will be for them to find what you want. Yeah. So yeah,
because it's no good just saying I want to be round here, or we'll give them an area, and then they take you 30 kilometres down the road.
Yeah,
you don't want to be 30 kilometres out down the road. You need
very useful advice. Try to hone down exactly what you want before getting to the stage of going out. Yeah,
you need to do your homework, don't you, before you go.
And another thing, if they're going for winter sun, just check out swimming pools.
Yes,
if they are open or they're not open. You know, there's some lovely places where I've been on the Place in the Sun repeats where they have indoor swimming pools, which we've seen. And I know it's in a bit of a village, which is away from the beach, but you think that's nice. There's an indoor swimming pool open all year round.
Or a heated pool, but again, you have to factor that into your the ongoing running costs, don't you?
Yes, that's right.
Pool. So it's all decisions.
Where they sent us, it wasn't the running costs wasn't expensive, really, was it? But if you're paying for a pool and it's not open, while you're there, why pay?
Exactly. Good point.
Or like you're paying for maybe the gardens to be done outside the apartment, which is good because I don't do any gardening myself. But like on I think it was 2, property 2, the gardens around that was lovely, wasn't it?
It was a nice place. That was nice and clean.
Yes. That's
brilliant. Well,
really, yes.
There's lots of useful pointers for listeners there. So thanks, Helen and Steve. That's been really useful, and I really wish you the best in finding a property when you go out in the summer or the autumn. And keep in touch and let us know.
We will.
We will. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Take care and good luck.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.